said no. Joining me now is Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter and Texas Congressman Louis Gohmert. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Great to be with you, of course.
Congressman Gohmert, this Supreme Court ruling, is this a vindication for Republicans who have been trying to secure our elections?
Exactly. And for those woke corporations that are saying, we don't want ballot security, we don't want secure elections, we would rather appear totally woke, well, they need to get back with the program and care about security of our elections and not disenfranchising millions of Americans. So this is important, and I'm so glad that the court stepped up. I've been exceedingly concerned ever since the brutal treatment that the three Trump appointees got, especially Kavanaugh, that they might still be so shell-shocked they would be afraid to step out there and do the right thing. Wait, let me get my breath, let my family get over all of the post-traumatic stress, because it was devastating what they went through. So I'm real pleased that the Supreme Court did the right thing here and intends to see that elections are at least protected for step one here.
Sure. Congressman Carter, the Department of Justice is now suing Georgia for their voting integrity laws. Are people really buying this idea that the voting laws are racist narrative? What are your constituents saying about the Georgia law?
Well, first of all, 75% of all Georgians said they wanted more election integrity. 60% of all Democrats said it, and 69% of all African Americans said it. What the Biden-Harris administration has done is to weaponize the Department of Justice, and now they're trying to game politically with the Department of Justice. What the state legislature in Georgia did was simply to make voting easier and cheating harder. That's their responsibility. Our Constitution is quite clear that the state legislature shall set the laws in the state of Georgia. And I applaud the Georgia state legislature for what they've done, because, again, what they've done is they've made voting easier and cheating harder. And this decision in Arizona, this should bode well for what the administration is trying to do by weaponizing the Department of Justice.
Switching gears here, gentlemen, both of you joined former President Trump at the U.S.-Mexico border earlier this week. He had a lot to say about Biden's border crisis. I want to hear some of your takeaways from the visit. Congressman Carter, Town Hall published an op-ed that you wrote about the crisis today, so let's start off with you.
Well, first of all, what President Trump and I saw at the border was the crisis that has been created by the Biden-Harris administration. And that crisis was created by reversing the policies, the successful policies of the Trump administration that gave us one of the most secure borders that we've ever had. The building of the wall, the construction of the wall, the Stay in Mexico policy, the Title 42, all of these led, again, to a successful and secure border. The Biden administration has totally reversed that. And what has resulted is a humanitarian crisis, a national security crisis. You see it with the record number of people who are coming across that crisis, coming across that border. And, you know, it took Kamala Harris 93 days before she finally got to the border, and then she went to the wrong place. She went 800 miles from where she should have been. Louis Gohmert and I were at the right place.
Congressman Gohmert, there were so many statistics, so many powerful comments made by the sheriffs and the state officials and local property owners and the former president and the governor. What were your major takeaways from that visit this week?
Well, I agreed with everything that was said. It is a disaster. It is a crisis. But my big takeaway came after spending 3 days trying to get down to the border. And for the first time in all my years, all the days, all-nighters I've pulled down on the border, down at the river, on the dirt roads, in those areas, I was denied access only if they said if I made an appointment long enough in advance, they would send somebody to go with me. I'm on the committee that has oversight over the Border Patrol. And they're saying I have to be overseen by the people over whom I have oversight before they'll let me see anything, and they'll only they'll restrict me from seeing the things I want to see. I couldn't believe 3 days this administration prevented me. And I had apologies from a lot of the Border Patrol. We're sorry. We know. We've seen you down here so many times. But this comes from on high. And I tried to work up the chain and was never allowed to get to the border. I know there were some members that they made a long appointment in advance. I don't work that way. If I've got oversight over an agency, a department, I want to be able to show up and see what they're doing. I said, just treat me like an illegal alien. And one of the agents said, but you'll end up in the processing center. I said, that's right. And I will be happy doing that. I'll get to see everything you're trying to hide from me. So
you'll end up in the processing center, and you'll get a free plane ticket, Congressman. You'll get a free plane or bus ticket anywhere in the country that you want to go.
That's right. I gotta move. I'll get to see the USA and not in a Chevrolet. Yeah.
I got to move on. House Speaker Pelosi's independent January 6th Select Committee passed the House a couple of days ago. Wyoming Congresswoman Liz Cheney is going all in despite receiving backlash from her GOP colleagues. Congressman Gohmert, Kevin McCarthy kind of has a choice to make here. He can seat Republicans on what is this, political, impeachment 3.0. and sit alongside Adam Schiff and Raskin and others, or not. What do you think he should do here?
I don't think he should play in this stupid game. It will give credibility to a terribly flawed process. They're not going to allow. Let me go back to the Benghazi committee. Boehner picked the lead staff for that, and it went nowhere. They were able to keep it from coming to any big conclusions. Well, you don't think Pelosi, with her authority to choose the staff for this thing, is going to go right where she wants to go? Might as well write the results now. We know what they're going to say, and we're finding out the more information we get about January 6th, the more lies there were, the more cover-ups there were, and the more of us that objected are being objected to by people that objected in 2016 and all these prior years.
Right. Congressman Carter, real quick, I'd love to get your thoughts. What should Kevin McCarthy do here?
Absolutely ignore it. All Nancy Pelosi is trying to do is to humiliate Republicans. She's just trying to keep something alive in order to make us look bad. Look, if this were truly going to be a commission that truly looked at what is going on, then we would consider what happened in the past summer, in summer of 2020, the riots in Minneapolis and in Portland. We would consider what happened at the shooting at the baseball game practice. We would consider all that, but no, she is intent on humiliating Republicans. Nancy Pelosi is doing nothing more than just playing games here. If I were Kevin McCarthy, I wouldn't play that game.
All right, guys, I want to end on a positive note. 4th of July is just a couple of days away. Real quick, Congressman Gohmert, what does Independence Day and living in this great country mean to you? Real quick.
There is no better place to be. It is a blessing from God that we get to live here in what has been the most free, the most upwardly mobile country for people in the history of the world. So it's a matter of, as John Adams said, we ought to celebrate and thank God for all these blessings.
Congressman Carter, same question.
My grandfather was a sharecropper. My father worked shift work in a paper mill. I was the first one in my family to graduate from college. I lived the American dream. We live in the greatest country in the world. You hear about people trying to break into this country, but you don't hear about anybody trying to break out.
All right. That's a great way to end. Thank you so much, Congressman Buddy Carter and Congressman Louis Gohmert. Happy Independence Day, gentlemen.
Happy Independence Day.
Coming up.